CurePSP is the foundation for prime of life, neurodegeneration, a spectrum of
incapacitating and incurable diseases
with debilitating motor, cognitive, behavioral, and emotional symptoms.
These afflictions often strike in middle age when people have careers,
family responsibilities, and active lives.
So they include progressive supranuclear palsy, which is also known as PSP, corticobasal degeneration or CBD,
multiple system atrophy, MSA, chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, and others.
The mission of CurePSP is care, consciousness, and cure
for devastating prime of life neurodegenerative diseases.
My name is Michael Draper, and I have multiple system atrophy.
Hi, my name is Jim Britton, and I have CBD.
I am Edna Montano, and my husband Nigel suffered from progressive supranuclear palsy, PSP.
My name is Linda Phillips, and I have PSP.
Gracias por acompañarnos.
आप सबका आभार, शुक्रिया, नमस्ते.
Thank you for joining us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for being here. What a special night it is. Hey, my name's Jay Cash. I'm going to be your MC this evening, and we're going to be also your fundraising ambassador. And we've got a few remarks and a great program for you. Now, the first thing we're going to do, somebody's going to be a big winner tonight. You don't even know it. But, oh, Philip, you lost your credit card, buddy. And here's the deal. It's too early for that. It's way too early for that, because if this happens again later, we're going to use it against you to buy anything we want in the silent auction. But it's a Northwest Business debit card. I guess he's an attorney. It's a business card, guys. It's going to be a great night for all of us. Somebody take this. Christoph, I don't know where you are, but you lost your credit card. I want to get it back to you. I'll keep it. There you go. Jacqueline will take it. Thank you all so very much. Hey, welcome tonight to Train Keeps a Rolling, the Jeff Golub debut. We've got a wonderful, wonderful story to tell you here tonight. It's a very special night, and we thank each and every one of you for joining us this evening. We got a whole bunch of good folks at home watching. What a wonderful time it's going to be for you, and I've got a few housekeeping notes for you guys at home. Part of it is if you can't hear me, you have no idea what I'm saying, but there's a couple of apps that things you can do on your computer at home to help understand what's going on better. The best thing to do is if you're not watching at home, we've got several hundred folks here at the City Winery, but if you're at home joining us tonight, try it out on Google Chrome. You're going to enjoy yourself a lot better. It's a lot more friendlier of a user experience on Google Chrome, and you're going to be able to donate and participate. Kick in the chat room as much as you'd like to. We're going to have a lot of fun there. And anyone here in the room tonight, I want you to take pictures, have a good time. We want you to use the official hashtag CurePSP on all your photos on Instagram, Facebook. We want to be able to find you easier. If you're at home, hashtag that as well, and you can join us right here in the room. But again, if you're online watching, if for any reason you get clicked off, your screen freezes, and you don't know what to do, just go back to your confirmation email and click that link, and you'll be right back here virtually joining us at home. Also, for you folks at home, there's a lot of buttons on the top of the screen. Those are the most important buttons. Those are how you can donate at any point tonight, and you can help make tonight special for all of CurePSP. Now, for everybody in the room, you see those QR codes. By now, I think we all know how to use them. You get your phone, you take a picture, and that's going to get you to where you can participate in the donating tonight, the fundraising tonight. We're going to give each and every one of you an opportunity to donate at a level that's meaningful to you. But all you've got to do is download that app. We're going to have 3 items in the live auction here in just a few moments. And what we want you to do is once you have scanned your QR code, go right back here to the silent auction table and grab a bid paddle, because we're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want everyone to have a bid card. Even if you don't think you need one, you need to go get one, okay? It's very simple. Also, here after the movie premiere, over there, the whiteboard. This is the easiest thing, I promise you, if we all just look over this way. This is the 1 to 100 board. It's a whiteboard. We could flip it around where you see it, but just trust me, it's a board with 100 numbers on it. All you've got to do is pick a number between 1 to 100, and you donate that dollar amount. If you pick number 1, you donate $1. If you pick number 41, you donate $41. But if we fill up all 100 numbers, that's the easiest $5,050 we will ever raise ever. So go help us try to fill up that board. Even if we fill up half of it, it'll be a great success for us. But we want every number filled up. Just go right over there. You can pay cash. You can swipe your credit card. And that's some of the housekeeping rules we've got here for you tonight. As I said earlier, I am so honored to be part of this evening that's not only doing life-saving research, but we're also providing families with resources to patients, families, their caregivers, healthcare professionals. We're doing a lot of good things with CurePSP, and I want to just give you kind of a 30,000-foot view of what we're doing, because I know for many of you, it's the first time you've joined us here tonight. But PSP is progressive supranuclear palsy. It's a neurodegenerative disease that has no known cause, treatment, or cure. It affects the nerve cells that control the walking, your balance, mobility, vision, speech, and swallowing. So just think about that for a minute, just how serious that is. And think about this, 10 to 12 people per 100,000 are going to develop PSP. Now tonight we're gathered here for a critical cause, and we're so grateful to have you here. We really are. And again, for all of you watching at home, we're so glad that you're joining us virtually. It is a special night for all of us here. We've got great items in the silent auction, as I said. They're right back there. There they are. If you guys got your bid cards, they're just begging to give you these bid cards. They're beautiful bid cards here. Some of the artwork in the silent auction, I want to just tell you why it's so important. But we've got Braca Turner's daughter, Nita Schrader. Now, her mother passed away in 2011 from PSP, but she is an artist on several of the paintings back there, and they're absolutely beautiful. We've got a great story about them. We're going to tell you about a little bit later. But if you want to buy it, make up your own story about the artwork. By all means, we're not going to judge, but we're going to tell you what the inspiration was. And also, thanks to other great board members, we've got other wonderful artwork donated here tonight. The live auction will be after the video premiere. We've got other special announcements for you. And the best thing I want you to know is that tonight, once the movie's over, that later on you're going to get an email link where you can watch this on Vudu, iTunes, or Google sometime here before the end of the year. But we're going to email you the video, the movie we're going to watch, and you'll be able to have that before you leave. Right now, I'd like to thank our sponsors, some of the good folks here that made tonight special. I want to thank the Light of Day Foundation, okay, for supporting this event in CurePSP. The Light of Day, that's right. We give them a big round of applause. You won't believe what they've been able to do with us as partners. The Light of Day has been a generous supporter for many, many years, and we've got a nice big check I can't wait to share with you later tonight. It's right there in the back. It's a great big one, and it's going to be really exciting to tell you what they're doing supporting CurePSP. But the most important thing for all of you to know in the room is that CurePSP is a grassroots organization, and we provide the most critical assets and care to our patients, their families, their caregivers, even healthcare professionals. They turn to us for advice. And we are funded exclusively by people like you in the room here tonight and you folks watching at home. It would not be possible without people like you donating, and that's why we need you to dig down deep tonight, enjoy yourselves, drink wine, maybe a lot of wine, just depends on how much you need, but we want you to participate and donate at any level that's meaningful to you tonight. And just know that thanks to you, that when a family needs help, they have a place to turn with CurePSP. That's so very important. And they've worked many, many hours. Our staff has to put this event together. Also, City Winery would like me to remind you that, yes, sir, if you're not eating or drinking, you need to wear your mask. So just please put your mask back on, and or just hold the wine all night, and you'll be fine. That's all you need to do. Now, before bringing our guest onto the stage and telling you a little bit about them, let me tell you just a little bit more that I haven't already told you about CurePSP. But we have been here, CurePSP has been here for 30 years, and this foundation has been critical for prime of life neurodegeneration research and help to give out to families all over, okay? We're the first place they turn to. And CurePSP is the leading nonprofit advocacy organization, and they focus on progressive palsy, which is PSP, okay? Also cortical basal degeneration, CBD, and multiple system atrophy, which is MSA, okay? So all three is what you're going to find here at CurePSP, and they thrive to support the family members that are affected by this, the patients that are affected, friends and caregivers. So I'm just trying to paint you a great big picture about how special the work it is that we do, and just remind you that we are a grassroots organization, and we're funded because of people like you here tonight. Your generosity is our lifeline, okay? And we've made it easy for you to donate with those QR codes. Have I said that once? Last thing, if you're at home, last message for you folks at home, if you want to text, okay? So get your cell phone, or if you're here in the room and you'd like to do this, it's very easy. You can text message. So text 41444. We may have a graphic for it. We may not. 41444. 41444 Golub. That's all you got to do in the message. Golub. Golub. And that will send you a link where you can participate in the fundraising, and you can donate in any denomination that you'd like to. It's super easy for all of you. And guys, I'm just so excited to introduce some of our next speakers and musicians that we've got here for you tonight. I was here for sound check. It is rocking. It is a lot of fun. We want you to enjoy it, have fun, use our hashtag, and let me get ready to tell you about why we really have you here tonight. I'm going to welcome the film's director, Kyle I. Kelly. It's time. That's right. And Audrey Stafford. They're walking right up here. They've got just a few remarks for you. Then we'll get right to the music.
Thank you, everyone in person and online, for being here tonight. This evening is the culmination of nearly 10 years of work, and there have been a ton of people along the way who helped make this possible, so please bear with me. I'll try to keep it brief. Luckily, it's not the Oscars, so there's no hook. First and foremost, of course, I have to thank Jeff, Audrey, Chris, and Matthew. This film began long ago when I was taller than both the boys. I no longer am. But it began as a project celebrating overcoming the challenges of late life blindness. Even when it was clear, however, that blindness was just the tip of the iceberg, Jeff and his family continued to welcome me into their home. No one could have known how things would progress, and I deeply appreciate you allowing me to be part of that journey. That journey may have ended without a completed film, if not for the incredible support of CurePSP and especially David Kemp. Right here. Dave, thank you for championing this film from the beginning and for placing your trust in me. Despite starting post-production all the way back in 2015, you never once pressured me to compromise the film to get it done faster. Even after our first rough cut screening in 2015, when my editor, Phil Shane, and I decided we had to go back to the drawing board, you offered nothing but support. I can't adequately express how much that support has meant to this project. To the rest of the staff at CurePSP, thank you for putting together this event and holding my hand through all the various logistics discussions. Jacqueline Zendrian, in particular, has been an absolute godsend. Thank you for responding to all my emails, even today. And for putting together a really special evening. A huge thanks to the Light of Day Foundation, who made this event possible. Their mission to use the power of music to defeat Parkinson's, PSP, ALS, and similar diseases could not align more perfectly with this film, and we're very thankful to have them in our corner. To the many, many friends who helped me along the way in making this film, I literally could not have done this without you. So many fantastic filmmakers worked pro bono or way below normal rates because they knew how important this project was, and they're also just great people and great friends. There are too many to list, but a few in particular deserve some extra mention. Mustafa Khan, who introduced me to Jeff and Audrey and helped me through the filming process with interviews and advice. Don Downey and Michael Sutter, who filmed a couple of the most important and best lit scenes in the film. Tom Hunt, who cut my fundraising trailer, and my amazing post-sound team, Matt Rigby, Marlena Gajoslovich, who cut dialogue, and the incredible Isaac Durfel, who mixed the film. To all the people who reviewed cuts, you are my heroes. From the earliest rough cuts to the ones that were nearly locked, you all helped make this film better. From the film shop crew to the friends who came over for screenings, please know how much I appreciate you and your constant reviews. I have to give a particular shout out here to Adam Brown, who has seen countless iterations and, more importantly, been an invaluable source of feedback and cheerleading. To all the interviewees and other folks I captured interacting with Jeff and his family, thank you so much for your time and honesty. Without your insight, this movie would not have been able to capture the full breadth of Jeff's life and experience, which is why we went back to the drawing board. I'm very grateful that Phil Shane pushed me to expand the film beyond the original verité footage that I shot into the larger story of Jeff's life. The fact that I've gotten this far without mentioning Philip Shane is frankly crazy. Phil, my editor and fellow producer, is a wizard. He sat through days and days and days of footage and helped me to build the story in a way that honored Jeff and his family. His attention to detail and respect for everyone involved in Jeff's story are a huge part of why we were able to end up with a film that celebrates Jeff and his life and legacy without sugarcoating the harder details. Phil was also a huge help in our successful Kickstarter campaign. To all those who contributed, thank you so much for your support and your patience. I swear the digital downloads are coming. The movie's done for real this time. I hope it's worth the wait. Composer Stephen Gabori. If you know, you know. I can't tell you how much Steve Gabori's work contributed to this film. The amount of time, energy, heart, soul, and just plain work that Steve put in to compose and record for the score for this film, honestly, you just have to hear it to understand it. Steve put up with countless revisions from Phil and me when we were outlining ideas, then assembled an absolutely amazing cast of musicians and worked to infuse the score with Jeff's spirit in a way that only a musician could ever pull off. Steve, I can't thank you enough. I also want to thank my parents, whose support and love has been both unwavering and unquestioning for my entire life. Despite having 4 kids and a whole brood of grandkids, they have always managed to make it out to support me, and they're here tonight from Vermont because they're just the best. If a random lady starts talking to you at some point tonight about how her son should be a politician or an actor, that's probably my mom. My advice is just to go with it. If another random lady starts telling you how cool I am, that's probably my older sister, Chris, who also surprised me tonight by coming in. Thanks, Chris. My wife, Allison, is the type of person who doesn't need acknowledgement, but unfortunately for her, I'm the type of person who needs to give it. Al, I don't know if this film would have ever gotten finished without you. Thank you for keeping me realistic and and focused and sane. I love you. And last, but absolutely not least, when I was thinking about my thank yous, I wasn't sure if I should start or end with Jeff and his family, but I'm the director, so I'm doing both. Jeff, Audrey, Chris, and Matthew. Thank you for allowing me to be a small part of your lives. I hope this film stands as an honest tribute to Jeff and to all of you. And with that, Audrey Stafford.
Happy birthday, Kyle Kelly, I found out. Yes, birthday.
Yeah, I'm old now.
Yes. I made them come up with my support. These are my sons, Chris and Matthew. And Jeff's, I should add. And I'm basically going to repeat everything Kyle said. But I can't edit it out, so you guys just have to listen to it all over again, basically. I want to thank each and every one of you here in this room and everybody that's watching online, because definitely this film would never have been made without your generous love and support. I wish I could thank all of you personally, but I can't. But know that all of us and Jeff are extremely grateful. And okay, this is really repetitive. I'm going to say it anyway. Sorry, Kyle. We should have talked before. So the way the film came to be was our good friend, Jeff's and mine, Mustafa Khan, is a filmmaker. And when Jeff seemingly randomly went blind in 2011, Mustafa mentioned it'd be kind of cool to like film this musician assimilating into life as a blind person, which obviously is not an easy thing. I work with blind people now, and blindness is very difficult. And so we were living in Long Island at the time, and in April 2012, 10 months after going blind, Jeff was in the city with his new guide dog and learning how to navigate cities with a guide dog. And Mustafa filmed them, and that weekend they all went to Pennsylvania, where Jeff was playing a jazz festival. And Mustafa's cameraman happened to be an eager young filmmaker named Kyle Kelly. And the weekend ended, and the beginning, yes. And so that weekend ended, and the beginning of the film had begun. And we all returned to our lives knowing there was really no rush or time limit to continue filming. Time was on our side, so we thought. And Jeff would just be getting better and better at dealing with, his new situation living as a blind person. So a year passed, and in spring of 2013, Kyle called Mustafa and said he was interested in continuing filming. And Mustafa told Kyle, you should go for it, because Mustafa was busy with lots of other projects. So Kyle, got in touch with Jeff and me, and we were like, yeah, that sounds great. And we were out in Long Island, and we all decided we'd be in touch in the fall. So when August 2013 came around, and Jeff was actually going to be in town doing a rehearsal in New York City, which he rarely was, and he had a gig in the city, which usually he was traveling for gigs. So we called Kyle and said, God, you should film this. And he did, and in that course of 16 months since Mustafa had first filmed him, a lot had changed, and apparently blindness was not the only thing going on with Jeff. As it actually turns out, that rehearsal that Kyle filmed would be the last rehearsal of Jeff's life ever. And this man had played guitar since he was 13, and that New York City gig was one of the very last gigs that Jeff ever played in his life. So pretty amazing. And therefore the film obviously also took a very different turn. So I want to thank Mustafa Khan for the idea of this film, and Kyle Kelly for the drive and ambition to keep it going. And I want to thank Kyle for asking Jeff very personal and difficult questions that most of us just wouldn't have gone there. And Kyle did, and I thought it was great. And I, of course, thank Jeff for always answering every question honestly, without fear, and never shying away. Typical Jeff, his quiet confidence shined again, always. I thank Jeff for giving us this film. I hope it helps people suffering from neurological illnesses and other illnesses just to know you're not alone on the odd paths that are sometimes thrown your way in life. And I do hope Jeff's honesty, his grace, his dignity, his valor, as one of his doctors told him he had, also helps everyone whose loved ones are suffering from terminal illnesses. And Jeff was amazing how he chose to cope with this disease. And he told me just before he died, despite the dreaded disease he'd had to deal with for the last 4 years, he was more than grateful for the life he'd been given. He said he had lived at least 2.5 lifetimes in his 59 years. His only real regret being that he would not physically be present to be a dad to Chris and Matthew, which of course was a huge regret, but pretty good other than that. And too bad for you two, you got stuck with only me, but oh well. And I too am grateful I got to spend 28 years with that man, and his presence is with Chris, Matthew, and me every single day. So a quick thank you. I can't thank everyone by name, but a few, yeah, just like Kyle said, they stand out. So thank you, Dave Kemp, and everyone at CurePSP. They were just unbelievably supportive from the first day that they were aware of this film being made. Thank you, Mustafa Khan. Thank you, Kyle Kelly. Thank you, Chris and Matthew Golub, for opening yourselves up to this film being made at an extremely difficult time in your lives. Thank you, Steve Gabori, for your, as always, tireless and passionate scoring of this film. And thank you to all the musicians who gave their time and artistry. And thank you to all our friends who sat and spoke to Kyle. And thank you to all the amazingly wonderful doctors who desperately tried to shed light on Jeff's illness, especially Jeff's neurologist, Daniel McGowan, who's here tonight. And our psychiatrist, Jack Dugnette. So these two men in particular were rocks for Jeff and me, and we both are eternally grateful for all you both gave us. The advice, the empathy, the support, the guidance, it's all immeasurable. So there are many more I need to thank, but that's it, and know that I thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now, we've heard about Steve Gabori. Well, guess what? He's here. He's going to bring him up here on stage. We've got a little musical entertainment for you here before we kick off the film. Now, Steve, as you heard, was the film's composer, spent countless hours on it. And Steve's getting up here at some point, and he is going to introduce all the musicians that we've got here tonight. So we'll let Steve take the stage.
Hi, good evening. I'm Steve Gabori. And I'm really the co-composer. I'm along with Jeff Golub on the film. Years ago, Audrey invited me over to watch, I think, the first, or it was certainly a very early screening of what you're about to see tonight. And I introduced myself to director Kyle Kelly and editor Philip Shane, and mentioned that I'd composed soundtracks for a few documentaries, but what I was really interested in was trying to help work in Jeff's compositions, as he's written quite a few songs spanning over 30 years. People know of him as an extraordinary guitarist, sometimes overlooking that he's a terrific songwriter. So I wanted to feature the musicians that had played with him, especially ones from when we used to play every Sunday night at the bitter end. So please welcome, on drums, he goes way back with Jeff, played with him in high school back in Akron, Ohio, Steve Barbuto. On bass, I know he was playing with Jeff in Boston in the late 70s. They both would move here to New York City soon after. Chris Bishop. On rhythm guitar, he generously led the trio you've been listening to this evening, and really made it much more nice than just having canned music. So, by the way, that set was all featuring Jeff's repertoire and stuff, and he dates also back to the Boston days with Jeff McGaffney. On lead guitar, Jeff's longtime buddy from New York City. I was fortunate to be in a couple of bands that had both of them playing, John McCurry. Is our saxophone player here? On what? That's really great. On trumpet from the Avenue Blue era, and he also knew Jeff back in the Boston days, Don Harris. Oh, here, perfect timing. Okay. So Bill Evans and Aaron Hike, who played the saxophone parts in the film, were both unable to be with us here tonight. So I'd never met this gentleman before, but through watching him in the film, I sort of felt like I knew him, which led me to looking into if he could possibly help us with the tenor sax parts here tonight. He's graciously traveled here to play with us. We are so honored. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kirk Whalum. So as Audrey just did, I want to thank all of the musicians who generously donated their talent to the project. By the way, where's Jeff Levine? I know he's here somewhere. In searching through lots of ADAT tapes, we were looking for different things that Jeff had played on that we could work into the film. And we found a demo with Jeffrey G., Jeff Levine, and John Waite. And it was supposedly to eventually have lyrics on it, but it was just raw like it was. And the demo turned out to be quite magical, how it worked out with one of the scenes. So thank you, Jeff, and thank you, John Waite, for that. Thank you. And finally, I'd like to thank my engineers at Livewire, Colin Klippel, Diego Las Heras, and Sebastian Columna for their terrific engineering and mixing. Okay, we're going to play 2 songs from the film tonight. These are both Jeff's signature pieces. This first one is Naked City. Thank you. Okay, this is the final song. This is Nightingale. We played this always religiously at the bitter end, and this is also Jeff's song, of course. Okay, thank you. Steve Barbuto on drums, Chris Bishop on bass, Mick Gaffney on rhythm and guitar, John McCurry lead guitar, Don Harris, and Kirk Whalem. Thank you so much.
Steve, guys, thank you so very much. That was great. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I present to you, Train Keeps A-Rollin'.
I love the way he died. Other than the horrificness of the disease, his death was as good as it can be, I think.
Let me hear you now.
I'm here today just thinking about how I screwed up.
No one goes to school to figure this stuff out. No one goes to say, okay, you're gonna have a perfect life, a family, and then you're gonna go blind, and then you're both gonna like have to deal with each other. Did you read the pamphlet, you know, on how to do this? Oh, you didn't, so you're just gonna have to figure this amazingly intense situation out on your own, on the spot. Okay, good luck. You know, and then bam.
I bumped into her on the street. She had just moved out. That was going to happen again and again again. They'd break up. He'd go on tour. They'd start talking again. He'd come back into town, then be like, you know, hey, you want to go out to dinner? She'd be like, well, okay. And then all of a sudden they were back together again, and then they would break up again.
I have this favorite picture that's Jeff to me. That's just quintessential Jeff. Slight little grin, quiet, knowing all that's going on. I was 26. We started dating in December, and the first time he went out of town for like 3 weeks was probably like March. And I just remember being like, this is what I do. I'm like, okay. You know, like, yeah, that is what he does.
A hole in the wall called the ear in because part of the neon went out for bar, so it lost the loops. The musicians have to play in this tiny little corner. You never knew who you were going to see playing.
If there's like some amazing drummer that you might have a dozen other amazing drummers in the audience just checking that guy out. And Jeff was another one of the guys just hanging out with his pals.
Here's a guy that went out in front of millions of people, and once out of the spotlight, he was just a normal guy.
One of Jeff's favorite movies was The Big Lebowski.
He looked like the dude.
Definitely the dude. I was not the dude.
I was more of Ham.
I was the neurotic dork.
He was his dudeness.
We go to the China Club. The lines didn't mean anything because Jeff was like the ambassador. So I'd walk behind Jeff and the guys, hey, Jeff, you know, because he's playing with Rod Stewart's band. And I'm with Jeff. So I'm playing with John McLaughlin's band, but jazz doesn't matter. You're not cool like Jeff's cool. He went in and hung out with some guys from the Rolling Stones. You see Bon Jovi sitting in and singing, guys from Kiss. And Jeff knew most of these guys, you know, and so it was a real thing. We go in until 4 or 5 in the morning, sometimes not. We remember how we got out of there.
One night, the marriage ultimatum came up again, and Jeff wasn't ready. They were in a very vulnerable place in their relationship, and I think it was the first time that Jeff was really afraid. The next day, they decided to go for it. Audrey had already had a dress prepared for the occasion. She figured that eventually she was going to put it on.
He was scared. Am I cut out to be a good father?
He's cool.
Chris?
Chris, yeah. Christopher. Hey, what's happening, dude? You're doing some moving around. That's cool.
Christopher and his dad eating lunch together.
Hi, Aud.
Morning, happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Everybody come give Dad a Father's Day hug.
No, everybody's all wet.
Oh. You would...
Oh, jump in.
What, you would deny a hug?
No way. Just sitting here with Audrey. Hi, Aud.
Hi.
Where are our children?
Where are the kids?
Wait a minute, who's... Oh, man, it's Chris. Hey, who's that? Oh, it's Matthew. Making the eggs.
Morning.
Morning, Aud.
Morning.
Just back from our West Palm Beach second honeymoon.
10 years. We'll be back another 10.
Look at this. White Christmas. That's beautiful.
Oh, cool. Look what Mom got. A flip video.
What's the flip?
I've seen him on TV. I'm not sure exactly.
There's Super Easy's video.
Does look cool. It's fashionable.
Okay, then I'll show you how to work it.
Okay. Okay, so Matthew, are you feeling a little melancholy about a few things you didn't get? Okay. Jeff, did you ever feel that way before? Tell us about a Christmas one time far, far ago.
So one time when I had wanted this camera, and they were advertising on television. It said, "Open me first," is what they were advertising, so that you'd have a camera. You'd have a camera to film everything. And my family thought I was too young to get it, which they were probably right. So they didn't get that for me. That's all I really wanted. So I didn't have the "Open me first." And I started crying. I ruined everybody's Christmas. They got me all sorts of really cool stuff, but since I didn't have that, it just...
All he could focus on.
All I could focus on was I didn't have that.
And you're how old now?
I'm 55 now.
And do you think when you talk to your family today, somebody will mention that?
Probably.
How's it sound?
I think it sounds pretty good.
Awesome.
Summer 2011. Jeff's gone blind in one eye. He'd been absolutely fine. It was just so random.
I started recording this last record. I think I have 10 records out. I lose track after a while. That's amazing when you have enough records out that you lose track. But anyway, I have a lot of songs, and there's an album called The Three Kings that we started on Valentine's Day last year, and my right eye started to go a little bit during the recording of that.
Jeff started complaining during that time of one eye going gray or something, and
he said, "Hey man, would you mind me driving? My right eye is really bad." I remember trying to downplay it, sticking the key in the ignition and going, "Oh yeah, is it that bad? Okay, well anyway, you know, I like driving anyway," going like, wow.
He was playing a gig in Kansas City, and he called me, and he said, "You're not going to believe this."
Hey, this is Jeff. Happy 4th of July. Anyway, I wanted to call and let you know, I've been feeling bad for myself with, not having vision in one eye. Now my other eye is starting to go. In fact, it's more than starting to go. It's gone. I'm banging into stuff.
2 weeks later, he was on a plane alone to go to this gig.
We went to a big festival called Jazz Fest West. And the promoter wasn't sure. He knew about the blindness, and he was like a little unsure about how this is going to go. People were just packing it in. The word spread, and By the time the second set started, you couldn't get close to the stage. It was just people.
Bud Harner, my manager, stood behind me and helped me out. I mean, I don't know how I'd be doing any of this.
Jeff Golub, ladies and gentlemen.
To the curb, Luke. Good boy. You stop. Good boy. Okay, forward. Forward, Luke.
Did a nice job. There's an outdoor restaurant, and then there's a menu on a stand. Almost looks like a music stand. And you
I'm aware of that.
It was up here, not down up by his head, so he's watching out for higher elevation for you, where you would have just nicked your arm on it, but he made sure you missed it.
Good boy, Luke.
Yep.
Good boy.
That must be a dog up there. Straight. If you don't pull off, he's flirting with a dog. Straight.
No flirting.
He was a pretty proud guy, so I don't think he ever called me to go to the store for him or like pick up the kids at school, do anything, take him to the doctor. You know, I'm like, dude, I'm here, like, just let me know.
Okay, forward.
Let him decide which way he wants to go. Yes, he wants to go that way. Very good. Praise him up.
Good boy, Luke.
New York City is actually set up really well for his independence. You could jump on the subway. He'd been riding it for decades.
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I was watching the news, and I heard them say, blind musician Jeff Golub stepped off right in front of the train and was dragged and not killed. And I looked up and I thought, holy crap, you're kidding.
He said he stepped out. I can't remember if he landed on his feet or how he landed, but he knew there was a train coming and he had to get the hell out of there. And he got out enough, but it still clipped him like around his hip and dragged him 12 feet or 15 feet.
The emergency medical technician said, you know, we don't pick people out of the subway. You must have some unfinished business down here. Which is where the title for my new CD comes from. Train Keeps a Rolling. I mean, the choice is to curl up into a ball and die, which isn't going to happen.
Typical Jeff, he was super careful not to let the dog take the blame.
Come on, man, how you guys doing? This is the second set. This means you've been drinking already. You've already been drinking. You've already had dinner. You've got no excuse, okay? It's party time. All right, that's what I want to hear. Because remember, I can't see you. I don't find that getting gigs is that much more difficult. I think it might even be easier because of the extra publicity. I mean, I'll take it any way I can get it, and you know, any way I can get a gig, I'll do it. If it means exploiting my blindness, I'll do that. You know, next year, who knows? But right now, I've been able to keep working. Everybody gets the blues. Yeah, can you dig it? Yeah, I mean, you can go home and Google that. That's a fact. That's got nothing to do with me. Everybody does get the blues. It doesn't matter how much money you got, how old you are, what color your skin is, you get the blues. I got the blues. That's why we play the blues. Is to try to forget. Well, actually, it's to know that other people feel the same way you do. And there's comfort in that. Hell, my dog gets the blues. He doesn't get his treats on time. You should see him. He is bummed out. So anyway, that's why we do it, and that's why we did this last record dedicated to my boys, B.B. Freddie and Albert King, because they are great blues guitar players. We kind of injected it with steroids a little bit, but you know, we're allowed to do that. You know, it's supposed to happen. It's the new millennium. So I'm going to play a little bit of guitar, and now I heard some saxophone.
That's all for you, bud.
Okay.
We're in crisis, let's pull in, we're gonna deal with this. It was, okay, this is what life has given us, and so we're gonna continue.
To record the next album, I came to New York and I hung out with Jeff at his own studio while he played his parts, and he did great, and the record came out great, and it came out, and we started getting all this attention from not just the jazz genre, but other genres. That's like such a big deal because it's a step beyond, you know, where we've been all this time.
It was him as trying to become a composer and trying to get his vision out to the world, the music that was inside of him. He had had a lot of life experience. He'd been on the biggest stages of the world. He was a rock star. He not just lived the rock star lifestyle, he was a rock star and had all that went with it. I've had plenty of conversations with him. He had all of the perks that go with the rock star lifestyle.
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest audience ever assembled. 3 million people were there. Maybe you don't recognize me. I'm a little tiny guy on the stage. Just get on board. Rod Stewart had a way of making a big auditorium feel like a small living room gathering. Don't need no ticket, you just find the Lord.
Basically walked away from that to try to get his own music to the world.
I said, you know, you're going to look ahead, and in 10 years from now, we don't know what anything's going to be like, but you're going to not like it if you never took a chance. Jeff took the chance.
I've had this guitar since it was cheap. It's worth a fortune now. It's probably, it's 1965 Stratocaster, so it's pre-CBS, as they call it. I thought about having the braille dots put in it that it's a vintage guitar, that I should not have it put in it, but I've realized I've had this guitar forever. I'm going to probably have it forever coming up. Here is the braille dots. So I can feel where I am. They're the same place as the fret markers.
So what's coming up for you?
This week is Boston, Philadelphia, New York, and DC.
Wow.
And then we go to California and we play in Seal Beach, California, and San Francisco. And the family comes and joins me in San Francisco, playing mostly clubs. Friday is not a club, correct, Eric?
Friday's going to be a radio station in Philly.
In general, I've been traveling a lot, right, Eric?
Yeah, a lot.
Eric's my intern. He's been along for most of the travel that I've done. We're prepping. We're going to be rehearsing the new record, which I will get my guitar and practice along with it. Eric, will you play the CD for me to play along with?
Of course. There you go.
I had never, in all my years with him, seen him work so hard on learning some music. And this was his own record, and he would sit on the front porch of our house all summer and just work on these songs. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Can I go on screens today?
Why?
Because tomorrow's not really a school day. It's a field trip all day.
Okay.
She's so easy.
You hear that, Chris?
Yeah.
People have commented that I used to smile more.
Yes, a slight grin at all times.
I'm not grimacing now, am I?
No, that's where I used to always be. That's sad that that's not your constant little grin all the time anymore. The record's doing great.
It's #1 on airplay.
And you've had a billion people interview you. He's got some big interview in vintage guitars and has an interview, I guess, coming up in next month's guitar player for, you know, when I talked to him after that interview, I was like, you don't sound that happy. And he was like, I know, I should be really happy with all this press and this great record and all. Life's funny like that.
Daddy,
Yes.
is it okay if I use the Strat?
Yes, but I'm just about to use it.
Okay, tell me you need to use it. I just want to try it out, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
He never complains about my not being able to see. I hear a little more complaints from my younger son, Matthew, who's 9. He wishes that I could play ball. I could do the things that dads do with their kids.
Yeah. 2 lines.
And he always told the boys, as long as you put the time in, as long as you've done the work, you're still gonna get scared, but if you've done the work, what you fall back on is the knowledge that you know what you're doing. You're fine. And I always thought that was really great advice.
Relax and take your time as you type.
Heath. H-E-A-T-H. P semicolon.
Letter pairs are keys you strike with the same hand.
Eric is so sweet. He walks in and like, hello, my friend, how are you? And just give him a big old bear hug and takes him into the studio. He just wants to keep Jeff's mind active and focused on moving forward.
The P key is struck with the semicolon finger, which returns to its
I'm losing my mind. I don't know how anybody learns to type.
After the first period of Jeff embracing his blindness, he needed to learn Braille, and he, had some lessons, and then kind of sloughed off. And he did other things. He started sloughing off.
We'd be out, at a gig or whatever, and I'm like, come on, man, you gotta get this going. You gotta get it together.
The Jeff that we all knew would have championed being blind. He would have learned how to do everything. He would have embraced that challenge as much as he could.
You're just making the computer say IP?
The Braille teacher was coming.
You're just making me say IP?
He said, okay, set me up here so I practice. And I said, Jeff, you're kind of sucking at this. He said, well, yeah, she came twice, and then I was supposed to be working on it every day. I said, when was that? It was about 4 months ago. And I yelled at him.
That was what we all thought he should do. Man, you gotta learn Braille. You gotta learn how to use the computer. You gotta do this, you gotta do that, you know.
Relax and take your time as you type.
So see, these fingers kind of go this way, and the keyboard goes this way. So I try and maybe even move this way a little bit.
Audrey reacted like, okay, here's my blind husband. We help you with that. But it doesn't mean you can slough off about everything else.
She wanted him to be independent. That was a big thing.
Audrey had a little bit of drill sergeant in her and keeping Jeff moving.
I'm one of 5 girls, and I'm the youngest. When my dad was sick, I'm the one who would go and find things and do it, and Dr. Lyde nicknamed me the sergeant. One of my sisters told Dad, I think she's more the general. And Dad said, no, she's the sergeant. The sergeant's the one that gets things done.
Audrey looked at her family and thought, okay, how are we going to get out of this intact?
You have to keep moving forward because you have an 8 and a 10-year-old, and you know it.
ES, ES, ES.
The boys lived through it with me, and they saw my highs and my lows. There was this lampshade episode. I don't know if I told you about it or not. It was Matthew's birthday last year, and Jeff definitely wasn't well. We were in the living room. I told Jeff, I've got to close my eyes. Please don't get up without help. I wake up and he's crashing into this lampshade. I happen to light the lampshade. I'm like, oh my God, the lampshade. And there my 13-year-old son is getting his dad up and, Dad, are you okay? And like getting in the bedroom, and then Chris comes out. He goes, Mom, I think you were really hard on Dad about that lampshade. Instead of just accepting constructive criticism from my 13-year-old son, I still had to like defend it. Which I'm like, oh my God, can you just shut up? So I went back in the bedroom and I apologized to Jeff. I hate it when I do that kind of stuff. He was trying so hard, but none of us knew, including him, what he was up against, and it certainly wasn't just blindness. So you just keep pushing someone, and they are doing the best they can, and then, you know, in the end, there's definitely guilt to, like, that you weren't just more empathetic and compassionate and knowing, understanding this is the best they could do.
But I have a cold right now. I'm trying to get rid of it. You don't get a pass from being blind.
How do you mean?
I mean, like you do get colds, you'll get cancer, you get anything. My eyes, as you see, do not move very much.
Uh-huh.
That's like the extent of as much as they can move.
And you're trying to move them right now? When you say
Yes.
that?
I am trying to move them. I mean, I wish I had more of an idea of what was going on. Even if it was bad, just some idea of what was going on.
Sorry. Doesn't itch. Doesn't itch, right?
No.
Can you look at the tip of your nose? Try to move your eyes. Move your eyes to the right. To the left. Up. Down.
I do think my eyes not moving has more to do than anything else with my condition.
You mean that's the clue to what's wrong with you?
Yes.
How many words beginning with F can you say in a minute? I need a dozen or more. Starting right now.
Flyer, fantastic, for, fanatical, I don't know any other start with an F.
You feel like your brain's...
Felicity.
Good, keep going, yeah.
Finder. Fundamental.
Okay. Listen, your condition is relatively stable. There's one new thing in your eye movements. They're a little worse than before. This isn't something that would bother you, but it just indicates that maybe the condition is involving a deeper part of the brain, a little bit.
Okay.
But everything else looks, you know, the same. I don't see a drastic decline.
Cool.
Matthew drew a picture of the brain, and this is what's the matter with my dad's brain. It's very much on Matthew's mind, everything that's going on.
You know, I can speak to your sons and explain that it's not some, you know, massive decline.
The psychiatrist said, "What are you telling the boys?" And I said, "Oh, well, I told them that it's, you know, there's something wacky going." I thought I was doing great, too. I told them that there's something wacky going on with Dad's brain, and that's why we're seeing Daniel. And Jack was like, "Okay, drop wacky right now." He said, "You need to call it a disease. You need to say it's an undiagnosed disease." And he said, "They're not going to ask you a lot of questions, but answer the questions they ask you and answer them honestly. And tell them the truth."
Audrey called me and said, "Can you meet him? He's just got to go to our apartment." I think he just wants help getting in a cab.
Pull him up. Pull him up. Okay, he's up. Here you go, Jeff. Let's just take it.
Bus pulls up, Jeff gets off, and I say, hey man, how you doing? And he said, John?
He's been good.
That's good.
Not great, but good.
I said, are you okay? Yes. I just need to get a cab. And he was talking just like that, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Text message to Eric Leibowitz. He'll be there in like before time.
Message weird.
Send.
Well, there is always hope here because, you know, we don't, it's not like I'm saying Jeff has ALS. So so the hope side of it is that it'll be very, very slow, or maybe the disease will just stop. It's this part here. The frontal lobes of the brain are diseased. And then if we open up, we have to get to the deeper part of the brain that's diseased. I'm going to have to disassemble it here. So we're right inside here. So this is the brain stem here. And the midbrain is this part of the brain, right up in here. It's right where the brain connects to the spinal cord, getting thinner, losing nerve cells. Those areas of the brain affect his ability to communicate, to move his fingers quickly, to speak with a normal cadence and rhythm. I can't predict exactly what's going to happen.
We did get this one really bad diagnosis earlier this summer. I got it. Jeff didn't know, nor the kids. And this other doctor is just like, absolutely, it's not. It was this thing called PSP, progressive supranuclear palsy. It's a brutal, slow thing.
Progressive supranuclear palsy generally starts with falling. Jeff really has only really started to have some balance problems now. Plus, in progressive supranuclear palsy, you would not go blind. It doesn't cause blindness.
So I don't want them to tell him anything until it is definitive. But in the meantime, it means that I have all this stuff that I'm like, you know, protecting everybody. And I'm hearing these rumors of people saying, what's up with Jeff? Is he drinking a lot? Is he doing heroin? Is he on a lot of meds? None of those.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
The lack of specific prognostic and treatment information is drive you crazy.
How you been, Jeff?
I'm okay, except that I would be better if I found a seat.
Oh, come on, man. Chris, I think Jeff wants to watch that monitor there to your right.
Thank you very much.
No worries.
Okay.
Let's see you sing.
Jeff and I had talked many times about we should do a Hammond B3 organ featured record. Brian Auger, famous British guy, had records out way back, was a hero to me. I mean, I played some of his band was called the Oblivion Express back in the 70s. And it was awesome. And I threw it by Jeff and he was like, man, do you think he would do it? And so just called him up and he said, yeah, man, yeah, I'll do it. So we got together and Brian turned out to be this wonderful guy. Just loved Jeff.
Great guy.
Because you're just bringing a duct tape in to put across my mouth.
Okay, one more question. Do you want me to take or you want to leave it?
You can take you should take it.
Okay, he's out in the hall. You have errors, so.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay, then the next song on the record is Train Keeps Rolling.
Right.
Let's go ahead and try that ending again. I will.
I know Jeff's playing so well. I listened to the record. There were moments of pure brilliance. That's Jeff. And there are moments that I went, what was that? What happened right there in the guitar? Man, that's not Jeff. That's not Jeff. I bet that there was a hell going on for Jeff because he would have been the first one to have been aware of it and said nothing.
Don't start playing yet.
I'm sorry?
I will probably introduce people.
Johnny Ross sat me down and said,
right towards the end of that section.
Okay. Yeah.
our friend is going to need our help a lot more going forward. Things are not going well, and nobody knew at that point what it was, but that things weren't going well.
The time that it took for him to physically execute what was happening mentally was taking more time. That's what it seemed like. I think he was aware too, but it was like, how do you fix that? You can't just kind of like wind things back a little tighter and so that everything lines up. Our job to support him was to just be as tight of a unit behind him as we could. And it's our responsibility to fit in with him because it's his music and he's the leader.
I'm watching my friend who, like, 3 years ago had everything going for him. Literally. He's got his place in the city, he's got his kids, he's got his place in Long Island. He's got his convertible. We're meeting, we're going to the beach, my wife, his wife. We're sitting in the, you know, we're going in the water, we're getting up, and we're going taking bicycles down in the morning to go get a cappuccino. You know, everything is absolutely couldn't be better.
Long distance
Relationships.
long distance relationship will kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Relationship will kill you. Long distance ship will kill you.
Yeah.
Distance ships will kill you. Up deep inside. What deep inside?
Like deep in your heart will hurt so much.
Deep inside your heart. In your heart.
Yeah.
In your heart. And what after in your heart?
Like you ache because that person's not there. So sad.
wife picks out most of the t-shirts. It says they match. Then again, she may be a prankster. I can just tell by the inside of it that it's meant to be worn this way.
Do you wear those all day, Jeff?
I do. Just to kind of show people that I'm blind, and also to make people not have to look at my eyes. I know I get uncomfortable when I look at blind people's eyes. My rehab person showed me how to make a bed. So it's not going to get any faster. It's just how long it takes. I dare anybody to keep their eyes shut while they make a bed.
Now make Jeff's. It is funny, he always seems very asleep, but whenever I go in there and tell him there's something like an egg sandwich or pancakes or something in the microwave, he never forgets. Bread is always here, the peanut butter is always here. These are his staples. He can stumble into the kitchen and know that's there. And he has his Ensure down there. And he can always find the orange juice here unless we're out of it. But luckily, he's not a complainer.
That's what I'm looking for.
There's some orange juice in a cup in there. Did you find it?
Yes, thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day to everybody else.
Your saga kind of started 3 years ago.
What started 3 years ago?
Your saga.
Yes.
It's 3 years ago you started having first problems with your first eye.
Yep.
Little did we know where you'd be in 3 years.
Little did we know.
Jeff and I were sitting in the car, and he goes, I think you're really angry about my blindness. I'm not mad about your blindness, I'm sad about it. I said, I'm mad about your neurological disease, and I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at it. They hate it. And I hate what it's doing to you, what it's doing to me, what it's doing to our family. And you feel like it's just this entity that's come to live with you, and it's taking over. And you're just watching it destroy this person that you love.
I know that this mic is hot. That song was written by Mr. Brian Auger. Well, we're gonna do track 3 off the new CD. This is called Train Keeps Rolling, which more people know I walk in front of a train than know who's the Vice President of the United States. And this is called Train Keeps Rolling for a reason. That it's about me stepping in front of a train.
We're sitting there listening, and after about midway through the show, I turned to my friend Gary and I just said, man, I don't know, Jeff seems to be having some trouble playing the melodies and stuff. He would drop out or he would miss notes and stuff, which, you know, he never would do. People from the audience are asking, is he on something? Is something wrong? So now it's becoming more than just me noticing.
There's a reason why you do that.
Here's a guy who lost his sight 2 years ago and has the guts to come out here, not only to record a really great album, but to come out and play for you, you know? And
thank you very much.
It was really nice of Brian to rally that support and to feel that love from the audience.
I'm very excited to have Brian Auger on stage with me. Makes it worth coming out.
But it's not going to be sustainable.
Yes, I am ready.
No pun intended.
I am ready.
what about you, Eric? You ready? Your mom and dad ready? We're ready. We're ready. We're ready. What about this road down here? You all ready? Yeah! Right, well, serves you right then. Okay. Yeah.
Wah, wah. Thank you.
I just knew, I knew that that they had to pull the plug.
Jeff and Audrey both were at first resistant to it and felt like, no, we can go on. But I know that Audrey knew what was happening.
When she'd show me the emails or tell me, we'd talk and she'd tell me what Bud or management said about dropping Jeff on the tour or anything, I think she knew like I knew. I feel like she knew like I knew that this was coming. She never talked, I think out of pride, not for herself, but I think out of pride, holding up Jeff's pride, that she even talked to me about it in looser terms. But she knew that I knew, and I knew that she knew that that had already been, that ship had sailed.
He's not thinking anybody's saying, let's pull the rug out from under him. That's how he's gonna see it. And yet they've told me they're trying to protect him, not hurt him. I do get that. They love Jeff, but you know, it's hard to be on this side of the barrier and understand their side, but I'm on his side. And it will be interesting. I guess interesting.
We had to make this decision. It was ridiculously hard, you know, because not only, you know, had I seen Jeff's growth as a solo recording artist and a guitarist and everything over all this time, but again, we had become such good friends and, you know, we loved each other and I never would want to hurt Jeff or Audrey in any way. That was one of the toughest things I've ever done.
Is that Bud?
Yeah. Hey, Bud. Yes, I think I will need to practice it more, but just because that's my only option. But I think you should book as many dates as possible, as many dates as I won't screw up. And I mean, or else I could get back to you in a day or two.
Okay, well, why don't you do that? Because right now, I feel very uneasy about sending you out on these gigs when you're just, people are paying money to go see this, and they're coming out of there going, what's wrong with Jeff? It's just not.
Yes, that's not cool. Well, let me call you within a day.
Okay, but I don't mean to say let's stop playing gigs. I just mean to say let's be very careful about what they are and maybe not take any right now that are just you know, covering a whole show, sections and stuff like that. But let's look at each one carefully, and then in the meantime, that something comes through these appointments so that, you know, we can get a handle on what's happening.
Yes,
That's my concern, and that's how I'm feeling as your friend.
I understand completely, but it does need to be addressed, but it is how I get food for my kids, so it is necessary to do gigs. So you think about that, and I will think about whether the other side, I don't think there is a win-win situation here.
I know, it's a tough one. And I know that, you know, you need to go out and make money, but at the same time, if you go out like this and play gigs like this, chances are you're not going to get invited back again, just because it's uncomfortable. So I just wonder if it's, you know, hopefully, the hope is, again, from these appointments, that something will come out of it. Maybe you're right, maybe nothing will.
Yes, yes, we will hope, but we have to plan on it nothing getting better. But I will do my best. You should think about it also. Okay, think if there is an answer. Okay, bye.
What did Bud say? Well, what I overheard wasn't good.
People are starting to wonder what's the matter with me,
Yeah.
which they haven't in the past.
Right.
I'm feeling pretty down at the moment because this is what I do, and having it not be the best it can be is killing me.
You saying those words kills me.
I understand completely. You've been wonderful. We're voting for a second tank. He's the fastest eater ever.
Wait, Dad, I forget. Am I supposed to be on your right side or left side?
It's supposed to be on my right side.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Step down. Oh, we're just gonna wait. We didn't make this light.
Yes. It's better to wait and be sure than to step out for no reason.
Yeah. Okay. We have the light now, Dad. You can go again. Watch, there might be a step down, though. Okay? Here's just harness. Okay. There's gonna be a small step now. Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Wait, Dad, did you like memorize where Rite Aid is?
Yes.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Hi.
Hi. I'm trying to find.
Okay, Jeff. 1 second. Let me make sure it's doable.
Okay.
At this moment. Just a minute.
Oh, Dad, step down. Come on, Dad, step down. Oh, we can walk, Dad.
Okay.
Okay, Dad. Come on. It's a nice day outside.
It is. It feels like a very nice day.
Well,
It feels like I mean, everything I do is by feel. It
Yeah.
is a very nice day. So today we're going to learn the G chord. We're going to add that to your repertoire of chords.
okay.
Okay, you're going to tell me when we get to 111th Street, right?
Yeah.
So otherwise I will keep going straight.
That wouldn't be very good.
That wouldn't be good. Are we at our apartment?
Yeah. Whoa!
Whoa. I'm
You okay?
I'm fine.
Even Tank looks scared.
Right tank. Right tank.
Are you okay? What happened?
I just kind of went into the wrong door.
Seemed painful. Thanks, Dad, for taking me on the walk.
Thank you.
Go, baby.
Oh, come on, Dad, you can go. Dad, by Matthew Golub, which is me. Without you, a piece would be missing from my jigsaw puzzle life. There would be no one for me to help teach Layla. My memory thrives and grows, but you will never be the same. Things keep on getting laid on top of you. That I would be the happiest kid in the world if you were just blind.
That's a wonderful poem.
Thank you.
That is amazing.
I'm gonna go. Okay.
And it's a beautiful poem. And written by my son about me. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I've been falling a lot more lately. It makes me feel like I should not fall. I might need to check out a little bit early. Nobody even has a diagnosis.
Everything's hard. You've told me before that everything's a learning curve and everything's a struggle.
I'm fine with that. I can deal with everything being a learning curve and a struggle. Everything. From tying my shoes to making the bed. I can deal with that. What I can't deal is with losing my facilities. I'm going to talk to them before I leave town. Because if I do check out early, I'm going to Switzerland. And I will talk to you guys and to them.
Is that something that you're still seriously considering?
Yes. Audrey deals with this in a different way than I do.
How do you mean?
I mean that I don't think she's been to this planet as many times as I have. She gets very upset about it.
Are you okay with your pillow?
I'm good.
Oh, you are? Okay, here, we'll move it a little bit. How's that?
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure. So the next chapter is All My Children by Carol Burnett. It's the only soap opera I've allowed myself to get hooked on. We even used to do a soap takeoff on our show called As the Stomach Turns. I remember that too.
I remember that.
You do?
Yes.
Yes. Every Friday, I'd receive telegrams from the concierge at our hotel in London, Paris, or Rome, keeping me up to date on my soap. I couldn't wait for those telegrams.
It was so hard for both of us. I even asked him once because I thought that I needed to offer him something to know he'd have an out. I felt so badly. I offered to take the child guard out of the window next to my bed. I'm very grateful. He did not want me to do that.
Our last stop was Lake Como in Italy, where we were going to connect with some family friends. Around 2 in the morning, we were awakened by someone knocking on our door. The concierge had a telegram in his hand, which was shaking. I was encouraged to sit down. The concierge said, "Signora, I am so sorry," as he handed me the telegram. Carol. Erica was... Carol. Erica was kidnapped and has been found in a coma. Mark slipped again and ran away from rehab. He hasn't been found. Mona has to have exploratory surgery. Doesn't look good. Chuck has learned that Donna, who's carrying his baby, was once a hooker. Donna's husband, Palmer, is still in the dark.
The other day, a friend was asking me, do I have any friends who go to Switzerland with Jeff? And we were just laughing about the bizarreness of that scenario. I don't think that would ever actually happen. I don't even know if they would allow that to happen. I told her, I cannot imagine putting the 4 of you on an airplane. Bye.
Finally, Joe took the telegram from me and read it. Then he started laughing too. It's her soap. They all turned their attention to Joe. Her what? I was still laughing as I drifted off to sleep. I don't think that poor concierge ever got it. Oh my gosh. You know, we're almost done. We've only got 10. We'll finish the next time I come over.
So we're gonna have to find a new book.
So we have to find a new book.
We, of course, would still really love a diagnosis.
We would love what?
A diagnosis.
I agree.
I don't see the thing that Dr. Galetta saw. Okay?
a scalloped tongue or?
Well, no, I don't see that, and I don't see this. He saw some twitches in your cheek and your jaw, and he's wondering, is that Whipple's disease? You know, I've tested you already for Whipple's. Dr. Odell did, and then I did, and the spinal fluid. He's wondering if we should repeat those tests.
I wish it was Whipple's, but I
So
don't
do
think
I.
it is.
No. So I'm happy to repeat the spinal fluid. I can refer you to a gastroenterologist and we can repeat the biopsy. There is another option. There is a program at the NIH it's a rare diseases program. They have a grant, and
What is the NIH?
National Institutes of Health. You will go down to Bethesda. I think they put you up to take care of it, and they spend a few days with you, a couple of days, and they do a lot of tests, and they try to find out what's wrong with you.
Does that sound like a good plan, Jeff?
Yes. I think that sounds like more of an option than.
You don't want to repeat tests that have already been done here?
I don't think so.
Fair enough. So I'll make the calls, and you would take the train there, or whatever, someone would drive you there. And I have another patient who went there recently, and they had a good experience.
Good. Bye.
Good boy. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Do that, you are definitely at risk of getting pneumonia. The news is tough. There is relatively little known about the condition. I can tell you that the constellation of complaints and the nature of his disability now, his struggles are struggles of somebody with PSP.
Yes, PSP.
You've read a fair amount about PSP?
I have.
And what do you understand about PSP?
There's no cure for it. PSP does not actually kill you. Most people die from falling or pneumonia.
Of course. And the news are definitely very concerning.
What is the time frame we're talking about?
It could take you in a week and 2 weeks if one institutes a program of prevention of aspiration pneumonia. He could go on for months, if not a year or so. But again, I think we should think about anything we can do to make sure that you stay from getting pneumonia. Okay? Any questions for me?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. I'll review the images and talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right.
How do you feel?
Fucked.
Yes. That's about all one can say. I would have told you. So, yes, because you're the only one that should have been the father. Boys. I didn't teach them. You know, all those life lessons. Nobody else can do that. You don't lecture them.
Nobody else will love them like I do.
No. And you don't lecture them like I do. You were the good, you know, other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was the taskmaster. You would, you know, just be there when I want to start experiencing stuff and either not flip out like I will. I'll try not to, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to you for this encounter. I'm grateful that this encounter is one of many that you granted me personally, but I know I speak for my brother Jeff and for these awesome people in this room that we don't say that we understand everything, we just say that we're grateful. And I do pray in your name, Jesus. Amen.
Was, wow, you know, this is really happening. Kirk Whalen was great with Jeff and, you know, talked with him a lot, you know, about moving on, and really good person, good friend.
So what would you say to Chris and Matthew?
I would say find a passion and go for it.
6 words that'll change your life right there. 6 words, Jeff. If they do that right there, look out. Find your passion and go for it.
What should Chris and Matthew know about becoming a dad?
If you do everything from love, you will be okay. Make your start from love.
You were talking about not losing your temper?
When you can help it.
When you can help it?
Jeff is better than most.
Well, yeah, what would you advise them when they have conflicts with people, with friends?
It's just to be cool. Always be cool.
Do you want to tell them about what to do when they start dating?
Yes. To be kind and respectful. They're gonna have power over women because they're good-looking guys. They should use their power for good, not evil.
Like you did.
Oh, I mean, they're gonna have more opportunity than me.
Oh, I hope not. I think Jeff enjoyed very much being a hot young single guitar player for a long time. What do you think about that, Jeff?
Yes, I did.
A lot of young people think they know something about, you know, being in love and what that means, but you're rewriting the book.
I want to stand up and give you a hug.
Better.
See, now he's shaved.
I did that for you, baby.
You're a good friend, Kirk.
1988. I've been dating him about a year. The rocker. You remember this, Jeff?
The woman didn't. He was adorable. I remember well. I told someone just the story this morning, and Audrey called me, and she all of a sudden said, after dating him forever, she said, I think it was like you left a message on my machine, and you said, I'm getting married this weekend. She had the dress, she had the little dress hanging in her closet.
And it was $100, so it worked.
It did.
Yes.
The place looks surprisingly Christmassy. I didn't think you'd have the time and the energy.
And when you have kids, you have no choice.
I know.
She didn't have a caregiver who was doing the grocery shopping or helping with the cooking or helping with Jeff or helping with the boys. She kept all the hats on that she had always had when everyone was healthy and then just added more responsibilities. I thought I was being helpful, and I said, gosh, this sounds like a lot. And I wonder if maybe he needs to be in a nursing home or something like that. And I was, and the answer Audrey gave me made me feel so ashamed that I feel like I'm blushing now. She looked at me and she said, you know, the importance of a marriage is when things are not great.
Remember those things called husbands? Yes. And how the little armrest and the thing? They were really not very attractive, but they were really great.
And then, of course, I tried to backtrack and say, you know, of course you'd go visit him. And she said, what kind of a life would that be for him? And what would that say to my children if, oh, now it's getting difficult, let's move Dad. And then she regrouped and said, whatever he needs, he'll get, and he'll get it at home. And he's my husband, he's the boy's father, and we're gonna do this.
Here's what Billy's writing. Oh boy, just now reading this from Bridgehampton. Nicole's in Germany, and I'm looking after Roscoe, his dog, who's not doing well. Tell Jeff I love him and am grateful for the many good times we've shared over the years. If you still have some of that Grey Goose melon vodka from the night I was over with Johnny, make Jeff a nice cool drink with tonic. I have some here. We'll pour a libation and think of him. Tell him I'm going to have that drink, with or without him. An awful lot of people calling. I'm going to play this one that just came in.
Hi, Audrey. It's Rod Stewart calling from London. Conrad told me about the unfortunate news. I just wanted to say a last few words to Jeff. It's really difficult to know what to say. You know, I'm sure everything's been said. He was not only a bloody good-looking guy, he was a marvellous guitar player and will always be in my highest esteem. Give me a kiss on the lips or anywhere for me, will you? I'm thinking of you both. Bye.
Well, Jeff, I have a big afro again. Miraculously, all my hair grew back. Incredible. Yeah, feel. Feel it? Is that incredible?
That's Allison.
Nice, right? Oh, yeah. That's it. Oh, man. Black man can't get a break.
None of us were experts on what to do. I think we all just kind of did our best. And, you know, in my case, it just was just, you know, just being with him, loving the guy, and just trying to be his friend, just like I've always been.
Dad, I'd be better for you.
Oh, Dad.
They told him, we'll grow up to be good guys and we'll make you proud. You know, he's leaving. There's no changing that. But I know he loved hearing that. And I'm so glad they said that to him.
I do feel that he somehow made it work, that he could stick around through the holidays, Christmas and everything.
I had heard Jeff's comment about, let me just get through Christmas because I don't want the kids to have to deal with Christmas every year as being stigmatized by that.
Dad, what do you think about it? Like, do you think that it's scary or no?
I think it's scary, but I'm fine.
What's scary? Just the unknown?
Yeah.
He'll ignore me too, like doesn't see me. Matthew! Arrange him to get out. Matthew! He has selective hearing. Look at him, he's built just like Jeff.
CurePSP. For the last 10 years, CurePSP and the Light of Day Foundation have partnered in a matching gifts appeal that has raised more than $1 million for this cause. So at this time, I'd like to invite two important people up, Tony Palagrosi from the Light of Day Foundation, and also my good friend Christophe Diaz, the Executive Director and Chief Scientific Officer for CurePSP.
Hi, everyone. So I'm speechless, but I'm not here to speak. I'm here to work. So I'm the Executive Director and Chief Scientific Officer at CurePSP, and our staff is over there, and a lot of people that are helping us are here, and we're here to find a cure for PSP. We're here to support people going through this terrible disease, and we're here to raising awareness so when doctors encounter the disease, they can actually diagnose it faster so people can be helped faster. And so for many, many years, we've been collaborating with the Light of Day Foundation, and Tony Palagrosi, its executive director, is here with his team today, but I would like to invite Dave Camp on stage today. It was not planned, but Dave, if you can join us on stage. The reason I want to invite him, Kyle mentioned that Dave has been for 6 or 7 years supporting Kyle and the entire Golub family to put this movie together. So it wouldn't be fair if I didn't bring Dave also on stage for the presentation. So Dave, I just want to give you a little bit of a stage.
Thanks, Christophe. Thanks, everybody. Audrey, thank you. Fantastic movie, really, really good. We started, he was, we started six years ago. We first talked about this, and there it is. Fantastic job. And thank you, everybody, for coming, and thank you for the opportunity to present this. And I'll turn it over now to Christophe and Tony.
Yeah. So maybe a few words from Tony. We've been working together every year, and they matching every year. They give us this generous $50,000 matching gift. I checked with our fundraising team, and we've already added a $70,000 to this matching gift, which allows us to fund research and to keep on doing our mission. So I just want to thank you so much, Tony, and your organization, and tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Christophe. First, this was tremendously emotional for me. My mother passed from the effects of PSP in 2002, and as Audrey knows and her family knows, it's one hell of an experience. To watch someone you love kind of just fade away right in front of your eyes, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why we're here. I'm here because of my mother. I'm here, and my organization, the organization that I work with, the Light of Day Foundation, is here also because of Bob Benjamin, who was diagnosed with early onset Parkinson's disease in 1998. And because of the generous nature and spirit of Bob and the organization, and my experience as a co-founder of the organization, I was able to kind of expand, as CurePSP has done, the mission statement and the mission objectives of the Light of Day Foundation to include PSP and ALS, which are Parkinsonisms, and they are degenerative neuromuscular diseases. And I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Kyle for this, and Audrey and your family for this wonderful movie, this film that I hope a lot of people see, because if they see it, they'll know what they have to do. And what they have to do is support organizations like ours in order to battle these horrible illnesses and defeat them very hopefully in our lifetime. And I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. I want to thank my board members here, Joe Durso, Rob Dye, Gene Mickle, Christophe, thank you so much. And Dave,
thank you so much for joining with us and welcoming our organization into your organization for all these years. Again, thank you so much for being here. And Jeff, God bless. What a great guitarist. What a great human being. I'm a musician, and Jeff was always one of my favorite players. So God bless all of you. Thank you for coming here tonight. And get out there and tell people about what we're doing. And at the end of the day, we got to support the research, and we have to support helping people help people who are dealing with the disease on a daily basis. So thank you so much for being here tonight.
Oh, thank you again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give each and every one of you an opportunity right now to donate to CurePSP just like you did. Scan the QR code. You can enter to any denomination that is meaningful to you. There's a lot of opportunities for you there. Now, earlier this evening, over here during our cocktail hour, we had a live performance painter, and she actually painted this portrait right here. We'll get it pulled up here. Jacqueline or anybody want to grab it? They may have seen it, but it's down here on the side of the stage, and it commemorates, it's actually the movie poster for tonight's movie. Train Keeps a Rolling. Painted live tonight, the only one you're ever going to see, ever painted, ever, and it was done tonight. 100% of the proceeds are going to go right back here to CurePSP. It is absolutely gorgeous and a talking point for any of you. If you have an office, you have a home office, your business, wherever, what a beautiful talking point it is. Hey, guys, you tell me. Anybody can bid. Just raise your hand. This isn't scary at all. Just raise your hand, and we're going to raise money for CurePSP there. Anybody want to give $500? $500. Yep, $500. Who give $100 to take home a beautiful painting? Thank you now. Al 100. Al 1 1/4. I thank you, sir. Now 150. Now 75. Get two. To get 225. Al $250 right there. Going to get 250. Al 250. 25's in now, 225, but to get 250 on through. Anybody would give $250 to have a gorgeous, gorgeous portrait right here. Take it home. 250 all through, all done. Anybody else want to raise the bid? Hey, when I say sold, I want a great big round of applause. That's another $250 to CurePSP. On three. 1, 2, 3. Sold! $250 right over there. Thank you. All right, our next item back here, another gorgeous piece of art that we've got for you here today. And it is coming up here on the stage. Now, this is one of the next two pieces. Earlier is by Alexandra Yabrov. Gorgeous, gorgeous paintings here in the back. That's on the screen. Perfect. Even easier right there. Well, there it is on the screen. This is called Flamenco Gitano. It's a 40 by 30, if you can't tell up there, but it's right back there if you can. It's gold and red scheme, and it can speak to you any way that you want it to, but this is a gorgeous, gorgeous painting here, one of a kind. One of a kind. He'll give a $100 bill. Take home a nice piece of artwork. This will fit in the back seat of an Uber, a little easier than the big portrait will. It'll fit in the back seat of your car. He'll give a $100 bill. 100 out of it right there. Thank you now. Now 125. Would he get 50? Out $150. 150, sir. 150. You can't bid just once. 150. $150. Thank you now. 200. How to get 2 to get 2. Would he get $200 right there? Gonna get 200. Hey guys, on three. 1, 2, 3. Sold right over here for $150. And just get our Givergy folks, just raise your hand right there. They'll grab you right up there. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, you can also participate online at home. You can text a bid if you're still watching online. It's easy, easy, easy. Just click those buttons at the top of your page. Now, our next and last final piece, our final item to take home, the silent auction items. Again, if you're a winning bidder in the silent auction, please go back there. If you want to pick up your painting, go back there. But this gorgeous piece right here is absolutely fantastic. It was created in 2020. It's an acrylic on paper, 18 by 24. It does not need to be framed if you want to hang it for a more modern look, or if you'd like to put a portrait or a frame around it to give it more esteem and make it look even more elegant, you could do that as well to give it more substance if you'd like to. All right, we got a gorgeous 18 by 24, easy to carry home tonight. Who'll give a $100 bill? 100. I got right there now. 100. Thank you now. Now 150. Now $150. Yeah, 50, 50, 50. Thank you, sir. Now 175. Get 2, 2, 2, 2 and a quarter. Get 225. I get 50. Now 250, ma'am. It's your turn. 250. All through. All done. Let's do it over here, guys. 1, 2, 3. Sold right over here for $225. Thank you so very much. Hey, there she is. Thank you so very much. All right, so folks, please, right here, if you're at home, you can text the number 41444 to Golub. Text Golub to 41444. And we just want you to know that PSP is not an easy disease, but donating and contributing to CurePSP is very easy, and it's the simplest thing you can do to make the difference in so many lives. On behalf of the entire CurePSP staff, we thank you so very much for coming out. God bless you all. Thank you and have a great night.